Hi, I am Betsy Capson. Do you remember me? I'm getting a little older now, so I look a little different. That's all. Yeah, I know, different picture. Um, yeah, so I'm getting a little older, and let me tell you about this kind of funny trip we had. Our Relief Society decided to go to Logan. Why are we going to Logan? That's the closest temple. That's the closest temple we have, so we can go to Logan and do some work. And so I went down with the Groveland Relief Society, and I had my little baby Lena with me. Oh, she's so cute. And I went down to Groveland, to Logan, and usually you'd find like a hotel and stay for and do a few sessions at the temple, as many as you can, and then go home again because it's a long way to travel. But when we got there, we found out, the temple president, Dr. Schroll, said there's no hotel rooms at all because there's a military ball going as a dance going on. I've got an idea. And so it was Sister Jensen I came with. We came down together from our Relief Society, and he just he took our suitcase, and I carried Lena, and he took us up the hill kind of by the temple, and we knocked on the door of a house, and a lady answered, and he said, "Well, good afternoon, good morning, Sister Smith. I've brought a couple of sisters to stay the night at your house so they can go to the temple." And she said, "Well, you've got your nerve." And he said, "Oh, it's all right. I talked to Brother Smith, and he said you have room, and so be good to them tonight." "Yep, thank you." And well, I'm going to the temple myself. I can't be babysitting or anything. "Oh, no, you don't have to babysit." So she let us in, thankfully. And I don't know if she was sick or something, but she had this hacking cough, like she would cough really bad. And baby Lena would watch her while she's coughing and then try to cough like her. And she would say, "Are you trying to mock me?" "Oh, no, Lena, let's just be quiet, okay?" "No, she's not, I promise." Okay. And anyway, so we had a place to stay. We could go to the temple. And so we kind of got unpacked, and I was looking in there later, and she was holding little Lena on her lap, and I think she was just kind of playing with her, and I kind of looked in and saw that, maybe we'll be all right. We'll be okay. So anyway, I was glad I got to go to the temple, even with certain people there. We all got to share the temple. Anyway, we had a nice trip down. Next spring, this was 1919, the year, and you remember my husband George Capson that I married, and we decided we're going to leave Groveland, Blackfoot, and get a homestead. We're going to go homestead. And so we got our kids that we had so far. And there's little baby Lena starting to grow up. And we just had a little baby named Eva. And she was 1 year old when we started doing this in 1919. And you have to go, you have your land, you bought your land. And you go back into your land. And then you have to like build a house and keep animals and build fences and fence off the land, do all this stuff. And you have to live there for 7 years. So we did. We got up there, and there's nothing there. There's nobody else around. We had a few neighbors far away. But that first night, boy, we felt like pioneers. I tell you, we felt like pioneers. We set up 2 tents. So there's supposed to be 2, okay? 2 tents for the bedrooms. That's what we all slept in. And then we had just kind of a bowery for our kitchen kind of a thing. And that was our kitchen right there. And we just had that outside with the animals. And the bowery is just, you just cut branches away and make some room so the leaves are still there, and they can make a little kind of a roof. It's kind of nice. Just, cook outside. And that was our kitchen. We had a spring nearby where water comes right out of the ground. And it was so cold and good, and we used that for our refrigerator. And that's what we used for our refrigerator. And so that summer, that first summer that we got up there, we went and cut down some trees and got some logs. All of us helped, and we pulled them out and we started building a house, and we kind of got our house getting built together, and we got our, so because you have to build a house if you live up here. You have got to build a house and have a place to live, and so we got our house kind of started, and there's George with some of the kids, and there's our house that we built. It's not very big, it's just a little log cabin, and that is our mountain home. It was a good house. And after, about next year, we only stay up here in the summer, and we go home in the winter. So we pack up everything, and we leave our house, make it all snug for the winter, lock it up, and we go back to Groveland for the winter. And next spring when we went up, I took most of the kids with me, and little baby Eva, and George went up earlier, and we went up with just some other families and some other men, and they were able to get a wagon, and we're going to bring some wood up for our house. We had some logs for the log cabin, but we need just some more wood. So we got that piled on the wagon, some wood for our house and the men, and we got up there, and we started going up there, and we got up the road, and there was still snow on the road. Guess what? There are no snow plows. You just got to find a way through. And we camped there for 3 days, actually, on the road, just in the woods, on the way up to our homestead. Stand up, little Eva. And and so they finally, these men, they finally just got the wood that we had out of the wagon, and they kind of made a road just on the snow, just so the horses and the wagons could get through there. And about that morning, our bread ran out, because we had packed some food, but we didn't plan on camping for 3 days, so the bread ran out. So I finally just we had a fire to cook on, and let's make some pancakes. Let's just make some pancakes, and we'll cook those pancakes, and we'll make a whole bunch of pancakes. And we'll just keep making pancakes, and we will just eat that today, because we should make it today. And we'll have pancakes today all day long. That's what we had to eat. And it worked, that worked out. And we were sure hungry by the time we got up to our little homestead where George was, and some of the other kids helping him with the animals and stuff. And oh my goodness, we got right inside that house, and decided I'm gonna cook up some dinner, and there's a rat's nest in the stove. Oh my goodness. Get one of the boys here, come clean that out. Oh, get that out of here. Get out of here. Go away. Get away. Okay, and I hurried and made some biscuits and some dinner, and put those in the oven to eat, and oh, it was the best food I ever tasted. Oh, we were so glad to get up there and eat something besides pancakes. So we have our adventures. We've got our adventures all the time. And there's what we would do is, nearby in Henry, Idaho, there's a town named Henry, and we would go out there sometimes, and it's called the Henry Stampede, and they would have like a rodeo, and stuff would happen, and we would just take our tent. We still had our tent, even though we have a house now. We'd take our tent, and we would take a sheep camp. What is that? It's called a sheep camp, and it's just like a camper on a wagon. It's like a wagon that a horse can pull. A horse can pull it. And they're pretty small, but it has a stove in it, and it just worked out. We was camp at Henry, Idaho. And my one little girl, Eva, got to go back to Henry, Idaho with her son. He took her back there. That was nice of him, huh? The Henry store in Henry, Idaho. And she remembered that place, because we would take our kids there. It was kind of neat. And so, and we had a lot of fun on this homestead. We just loved living up here. In the evenings when it would get cool, and we had lots of mosquitoes. And so George would build up a fire, and we would just come out and sit around it with the kids, and enjoy it. What we would do is you put a lot of like green stuff on that fire to burn. Just, you know, sticks and leaves are still green and grass, and it would make smoke. And the smoke would come up, and the mosquitoes don't like the smoke. How's that? So we would just stay in the smoke, and the mosquitoes wouldn't bother us, and we would tell stories and sing songs and do that like every night. It was pretty nice. And we had and there was plenty of game around. Our one daughter, Zilda, our oldest daughter, well, our second oldest daughter, got pretty good with a 22. She could go out and just find some little pine hens. They're just wild chickens. And she'd go out and shoot a couple and bring them home. We'd eat them. It was pretty good. She got to be pretty good at that, and that helped out. And we had a dog that would work just as hard as we would, and that dog knew how to go out and bring the cows home. He'd go find them, bark, bark, moo. And he'd get all the cows that he could find, and he never missed any. And then he just knew how to bring the cows home, and that's pretty good for a dog to know how to do. I heard telling the neighbor that, and she didn't believe me. You have a dog that can just do that? Yeah, he's a good help. He helps us bring the cows home. And I tell you, George, let me tell you, when he laughs, everybody laughs. He has got the funniest laugh. When he laughs, and it's a big, loud laugh, he's got a great laugh. He's a good man. He's a hard worker. Hard as I'm working. Remember how I used to work this so hard? He's a good man. I stayed with him all the time. We never separated. He was a very good man. Very hard worker. Some kind of a hard person sometimes, but he was a very good man. I'm glad I found him. And we had quite a brood of kids. Quite a few of them. That's our family. That's not even our whole family yet. We still had a few more kids. But there's some of our girls. This is Zelda's the oldest, and she's holding baby Myrtle now. We have another baby, and there's Lena, and there's Eva on our homestead. And that is me. That is me holding baby Myrtle, and there's little Eva. We're up there on our homestead. I think you know Eva. We had a good life up there. And I had a good family, and I'm glad.